What up, babies? It's your one and only girl this morning, Muggsy from Aquarium Rising LIC. How are ya? So we are back at it another day with the glutes workout activity. For those of y'all that don't know, this is your virtual workout buddy here. I do workout for the female fitness for pretty much coping, transmutation, stress relieving, and also building your body up at the same time. All right. I'm not a bodybuilder. I move at a fast pace. So if you're not keeping up, don't kick yourself, okay? This ain't about that. I work off the Female Fitness app. You do not have to, subject yourself to my routine. How in the ever, if that's what you want to work off, or if you want to, work off of the app that I'm working on, that is the app that I am using. Okay, but please feel free to bring your own routine to it. If you are familiar with calisthenics and yogas and stretches, please feel free to comment. Let me know, stitch me, do at me. Let me see something, because I'm definitely interested. And I'm not against collaborations or working out with anybody. All right. Also, too, if you see my formation wrong, please do not condemn me. I am not a bodybuilder. I do not claim to be. I may have this shit wrong sometimes. You will see me adjust mid workout with certain exercises because I think I'm doing them wrong. Okay. So, but this is the glutes workout. Welcome. We're going to kind of hop straight into it because I missed yesterday. The day before that, I was digging holes inside my yard. So that kind of took its toll on my legs and my shins and my Achilles. And I had to rest that because I work muscles I had never worked before. So I had to kind of ease up on myself with that. But I ain't gonna hold y'all up too much longer. It's already 2 minutes into the video. I'm gonna throw on this this palace tour while we working out, and yeah, let's get it.
Palaces, the most spectacular and lavish homes on
20.
Earth.
Fire hydrant right.
Luxuriously designed for the royals who wanted the biggest and the best.
If it's too easy for you, hold your leg up for several seconds.
Are incredible stories waiting to be discovered. Infamous monarchs from history, and the artists, designers, and engineers who turned their grand visions into a reality. These are the most opulent, flamboyant, and innovative royal residences around the world. This time, the home of one of the world's most powerful royal dynasties, the Habsburgs. At their peak, the imperial family's branches spread across Central
Take
Europe.
a rest. Next, start. 20. Fire hydrant left.
Vienna, Austria, was their main summer residence. Its 1,441 rooms have played host to some
If
of
it's
Europe's
too
most
easy for you,
influential
hold your
figures
leg
and
up for
events,
several seconds.
making Schönbrunn one of the world's greatest palaces. Marie Antoinette, Mozart, and Napoleon Bonaparte. Just a few of the famous names who have walked the corridors of this breathtaking building. Starting life
Take
as
a
a
rest.
hunting lodge,
Next,
after a major
16.
renovation,
Squats.
Schönbrunn Palace became the home of the Habsburg monarchy between 1569 and 1918.
Start. 16. Squats.
Bobby Titmarsh moved from the UK to Vienna over 3
If you
decades
feel it's too
ago
easy,
and
hold
has
a dumbbell
never
in your
looked back.
hands.
Schönbrunn is, for me, is my life. I started to work in Schönbrunn in 1974, basically as a guide. So I've seen the paintings from front, from the back, from the side. I know where the cobwebs are. I know Schönbrunn inside out. And it's become my home to a certain extent. It's just become part of my life.
My man said, I know where the cobwebs
Really
are.
special.
Take a rest. Next,
Schönbrunn holds many
12.
engineering
Donkey
secrets.
kicks left.
In 1744, architect Nicolaus Bacassi turned the former hunting lodge into a
Start.
palace fit
12.
for royalty
Donkey kicks
by
left.
designing a clever way of keeping the servants separate from the imperial family.
To get better results, keep your core tight.
The largest stoves in Shandong. All of the stoves were stoked from the other side. To stoke the stoves, the servants would have had to go through that door, or through doors like this, into the corridor to get to the back of the stove.
Take a
And
rest.
those corridors
Next,
were used
start.
by the
12.
servants so that
Donkey
they could
kicks
do their
right.
work, but they were also used by members of the imperial family so that they could bypass the rooms. So if the
To get
emperor
better
was
results,
standing
keep your
in
core
one of
tight.
those rooms, you wouldn't be able to walk through the room. Even if you were the crown prince, you would have to bypass the room by using the doors on the left-hand side. I like to compare the system that we've got to that in England. In the stately homes in England, you have a system of upstairs and downstairs.
Take a
So the
rest.
family lived
Next,
in the rooms
16.
on the first floor
Butt
or
bridge.
second floor, whereas the servants were in the basement below. In Shandong, we've got the same system, but we've got inside and outside. All of the
Start.
rooms that were used
16.
by the imperial
Butt bridge.
family have got their windows on the outside of the building, whereas the rooms and the corridors on the inside of the building have got their
This
windows
exercise
on the
really
inner
works on your
courtyards.
glutes.
So all of the work was done on the other side of these walls, and the family was completely undisturbed.
Bobby knows all about Schönbrunnn's long history.
The palace itself dates way back into
Take
the
a rest.
16th century. It used to be a
14.
hunting lodge.
Curtsy
It
lunges.
wasn't called
7.
Schönbrunn. Originally
Each
it was
side.
called the Kappelburg. And there is
Start.
a legend
14.
connected with
Curtsy
that
lunges.
building.
7.
The
Each
Emperor
side.
Matthias, he reigned during the 16th century, is said to have gone hunting in the Vienna woods, and he found a small natural spring and tasted the water of the spring and said in German, das ist aber ein schönes Wasser, ein schöner Brunnen, a beautiful spring. And that spring gave this palace that was later built its name.
The imperial family who ruled over Austria at the time were the Habsburgs. Their lineage goes back to the 11th century.
The Habsburgs are one of the oldest royal families in
Take a
Europe.
rest.
They're incredibly
Next,
powerful,
14.
incredibly wealthy.
Mountain
At one
climber.
point, really, they were
7.
seen as the
Each
greatest
side.
royal family in Europe. So, what the Habsburgs wanted, the Habsburgs got.
Start.
They
14.
start off
Mountain
in
climber.
Switzerland
7.
as
Each
Count
side.
Habsburg in 1020, and by 1276 they're ruling Austria. They're very powerful. They always used to say the House of Austria never declares war, it always marries heiresses.
This is part of the process that we call dynasticism, whereby the power and the marriage network was very important. And
Take
they
a rest.
were, as a
Next.
dynasty,
12.
obviously vastly
Standing glute
influential.
kickbacks left.
If y'all think for 1 second that I'm really looking weird in the camera, it's because I'm watching the TV through my camera as I'm exercising with y'all. So, I be tuning in while I'm
An
counting.
unknown Austrian architect named Johann Bernhard
Start.
Fischer von
12.
Erlach was
Standing
asked to
glute
rebuild
kickbacks left.
Schönbrunn, but little is known of his final design.
We don't know
Keep
very
your
much
legs straight
about
when
this
kicking in.
palace. It was unfortunately not finished. I mean, it was finished in the constructive part. It was built. It had a
Take a
flat
rest.
roof because
Next.
this was
12.
the Italian
Standing
style,
glute start.
but not
12.
proper for our
Standing
climate.
glute kickback.
It was just in hunting lodge, but in the dimensions, which is now the dimensions of the Schönbrunn Palace.
Schönbrunn
lean
would
your body
remain
forward.
incomplete until Emperor Charles VI gifted it as a wedding present to his daughter, the future Empress Maria Theresa.
Take a rest.
When
Next.
Charles
30
VI died,
seconds.
she came
Flutter
very
kicks.
often here. She
I
had
hate
a
this next
family,
exercise. I hate this next
children,
exercise. I
and
really
she
can't
decided
stand it, but it really
in,
does work on your core.
1744 to remodel
Oh
and
my
to reconstruct the palace.
But I'm do it though.
towards
I'm
the
fucking do
beautiful
it.
summer residence. With
Flutter
all
kicks,
the
yeah.
needs, with all the
For those of y'all that's
needs
been
and the
here, y'all
purpose
know
to stay
I can't
here
explain this shit.
with
'Cause
her family.
1.
And so
Start.
this
30
was the time
seconds. Flutter kicks.
when Schönbrunn Palace became this what it is nowadays, with all the buildings beside to host all the functions and the offices.
This exercise
of the
targets
court.
the abs
It
and
had
legs.
to host something like 1,000 to 1,500 people here. So she needed a big
Half the
place
time.
to cover all the needs.
Maria Theresa's
10 seconds
feeling
left.
for Schönbrunn developed when she was a child. This was still a hunting lodge, and the
3,
imperial family would
2,
have come to this
1.
building to go
Take a
hunting
rest.
in the Vienna
Next.
woods. And she
16.
would have spent
Bottom
her
leg lift
childhood
right.
years in Schönbrunn. But she was fond of the building. If it wasn't for
that's like the
Maria
one
Theresa,
exercise
Schönbrunn would
where
never
I do
have
take the
become
30-second
what it is
little
today.
break in between. Cause that
To
shit
make her
really
vision a
gets me
reality,
every time,
Empress
bruh.
Maria Theresa
Every
turned to
fucking time.
Italian-Austrian architect
And I know a
Nicholas
part of me
Picasso.
be doing it wrong, cause my lower back be hurting.
2.
He's so
1.
incredibly
Start.
important in Schönbrunn's
16.
history
Bottom leg
because
lift right.
he largely gave us the Schönbrunn Palace that we know today. It was such a huge project, and the process of renovation and the
Tighten
palace
your
itself
core.
had to be extended, indeed enlarged.
I know I'm doing this wrong cause my
He was
body is
largely
crooked.
responsible for this.
The only record that we have is that Maria Theresias mentioned in a letter to somebody, I don't remember, that Bakassi is an architect who understands her ideas and he knows to realize it. We can figure out that he was learning by doing. When he dismantled
Take a
the
rest.
inside in the
16.
middle, the ground
Bottom
floor,
leg
it
lift
must
left.
have been a big risk that not everything is falling down, because he took all the walls out to make a passage from the courtyard to the garden. So it was quite risky what he did.
The original building only had 2 floors. As you can see, this building has got 3 floors.
Okay, so
And
yeah,
Maria
I'm
Theresa
about
had
lined up
everything
right.
3,
changed.
2.
The
Start.
height of the rooms on the
16.
main floor was
Bottom leg lift
approximately
left.
8 meters. By reducing this to 5 meters, Picasso was able to insert an entire floor to Schönbrunn
It works
without
if you feel
modifying
your
the
bottom inner
external
thigh burning.
structure of the building.
And the central part of the palace has not got those rooms, and that's where the ballroom is. And the ballroom is the original height.
Take a rest. Next.
Architect
16.
Picasso's plans
Sumo
for
squat.
Schönbrunn included 1,441 rooms
I don't know what it is, but it's like every time I do this,
He was influenced by a new style that was sweeping Europe in the middle of
It's
the
like
18th century.
I be trying to make sure I don't
Palace
capture my
interiors are
what's it
mainly
in
in
the
a Rococo style.
cause
It's the style
yeah.
which was developed in
My spirits don't be with that.
Start.
It's the style of
16.
that period.
Sumo
And you
squat.
can see it all over in the rooms.
This is very typical for the period for Rococo.
This
Light,
exercise targets all the
lively,
muscles of
and
your lower body.
asymmetrical. It's nearly the opposite to Baroque. Baroque is always very heavy, symmetrical and dark. All of the designs that you can see are asymmetrical, whereas if this was a Baroque room, you would be able to slice everything into 2 halves and it would fit together. That can't be done here.
It does actually look quite tasteful to us now in our age of kitsch. It looks very beautiful. But then it was really
Take a rest.
excess.
Next.
It was really
12.
a big statement
Hip
with
bridge
its
and leg
sort
lift
of
left.
extra ornamentation, extra decoration.
Start.
This
12.
was perfect
Hip
for
bridge and
palace
leg lift
because
left.
everything about it said, I am the greatest, I am the emperor, and bow down in front of me. So it was really
Keep your
a
spine
high
straight when
expression
lifting your
of
hips.
huge amounts of money. It was meant to awe the eye.
Maria Theresa was also a formidable woman on the political scene. During her 40-year reign as empress, she made many reforms across the Austrian Empire,
Take a
providing
rest.
education
Next.
for the lower
12.
classes
Hip
and
bridge and leg
modernizing
lift
the
right.
judicial system.
Maria
Start.
Theresa
12.
was
Hip bridge
really
and leg
Europe's
lift right.
mother-in-law, but she had 16 children and 56 grandchildren, not all of which survived.
Tighten your
And so
abdominals.
she really was at the pinnacle of a huge network family that was underpinned by political marriages.
Maria Theresa was an incredibly powerful matriarch. In a time of great matriarchs, she was
Take
the
a
most
rest.
powerful.
Next.
She was
12.
intelligent.
Squat.
She
If
was
you
determined.
made
She
it
was an
this
incredible
far, give
political
yourself a
thought leader.
round of
She
applause and
was
give
an
yourself a pat on the
absolutely
back. We halfway
indomitable
through
woman.
it.
You would never,
If you
ever
didn't make
want to
it this
say no
far,
to
but
her.
you
She
still
was, I
around,
think, the
baby,
greatest
still
of
give
us.
yourself a round of applause and a pat on the back,
She's a
baby, and
extremely
transmuting this
strong
energy and even
woman
working out,
who
baby.
did
It
not
takes a lot to
give
get yourself out the
way.
bed and
She
actually
was
get
of
to
the
it. So
opinion that God
let's keep going. We
gave
halfway
her
through this.
the
3,
rights that she
2,
had,
1.
and only God
Start.
can take
12.
those
Squats.
rights away from her. These are the lands that she was entitled to, and she defended those lands with everything that she had.
Your knees should be extended in the
She
same direction as your
tried
toes.
to make new alliances with other countries in Europe.
Maria Theresa wants to extend her power through Europe, through her children, and she was incredibly effective at marrying her children into the greatest royal
Take a
families
rest.
of Europe.
Next.
It was all the Habsburg
10.
spin,
Donkey
the
kicks
Habsburg
left.
propaganda. The one we remember most of her children is Marie Antoinette, who married into the French royal family, and we always see her as this great French princess. But when she was hated
Start.
during the French
10.
Revolution, they
Donkey
called her
kicks left.
the Austrian princess. They're obsessed with her being a foreigner. And Marie Antoinette, that was an amazing coup for her. She had married in to the French royal family. She was the future Queen of France.
Marie Antoinette has gone down in history as the epitome of French aristocracy during the country's bloody revolution of 1789.
Take a rest.
Where
Next.
she began her
10.
life at Schönbrunn
Donkey kicks
as a
right.
little girl named
Start.
Maria
10.
Antonia.
Donkey kicks
So
right.
here you can see Maria Theresa's second youngest child. Her name was Maria Antonia, better known as Marie Antoinette. She married the King of France, Louis XVI, and was beheaded on the guillotine in 1793 during the French Revolution.
Marie Antoinette remained stoic up until
Take a
the very
rest.
end.
Next.
The strength
12.
of her mother,
Left bridge.
Empress Maria Theresa, seemed to be imparted in all 11 of her daughters.
All of the daughters of Maria Theresa, except
Start.
Marie Christine,
12.
they
Left bridge.
almost hadn't seen their husbands before the marriage. They just had paintings, portraits of them to have an idea
Exhale when
what
lifting
their
your butt, and
future
inhale when
husband
lowering
is
it.
looking like. There is a sentence documented of Marie Caroline, who was married with the King of Naples, and when she met him, she wrote in a letter, "I was surprised he was less ugly as I supposed, but more stupid than he should be."
One of Empress Maria Theresa and her husband Francis Stephen of Lorraine's additions to the grounds of the palace is
Take a
now
rest.
one of Vienna's
Next.
most popular
12.
attractions,
Curtsy
with over
lunges.
2 million
6.
visitors per year.
Each side.
Gerhard Heindl has worked at Schönbrunn Zoo for over 20 years.
So we are now in the heart of
12.
Schönbrunn
Curtsy
Zoo in the
lunges.
central
6.
pavilion.
Each side.
It's part of the Baroque architecture we have in the zoo, dating back to 1752, including
It
some
works
of
on
the
your
old
entire
animal
thigh
houses and
area.
administration building. But this is the very heart of Schönbrunn Zoo. This is the place where the emperors have been to watch their animals and where they celebrated some family affairs.
The zoo was the brainchild of Francis Stephen, who wanted it to
Take
be
a
a
rest.
symbol of the
Next.
Habsburg power and wealth.
Mountain climber. 6.
It was state of
Each
the art
side.
in the first half and until the second half of the 18th century. It was a must-have. It was a representative.
Start.
The
12.
Habsburgians
Mountain
were
climber.
one of
6.
the ruling dynasties
side.
of Europe, and they had to have something. We don't know
If you
really
feel it's too
what
hard,
kind of animals
elevate your
were
hands
there,
on a bench.
but in literature it's transported that it were mostly water birds, other birds. We think that Franz Stephen and his wife also must have had monkeys
rest.
and parrots
Next.
or something
10.
like this.
Fire
Then we
hydrant
know about
left.
sheep and goats, exotic ones, also deer and also a reindeer.
Start. 10.
And
Fire
it wasn't
hydrant
just
left.
animals that Maria Theresa and Francis Stephen were interested in. The gardens at Schönbrunn were full of exotic plants and trees from around the world. When it came to building a winter home for the rare flora, the Empress once again turned to architect Nicolaus Bacassi. The result was the
Take a rest.
impressive orangery,
Next, start.
which is now
10.
managed by Peter
Fire
Hezek.
hydrant right.
The orangery was finished around 1756 because the Empress Maria Theresia wanted to have a storage for these wonderful plants that they collected all over the world within the years, and they wanted to have a storage area, and they also wanted to
Take a
have a
rest.
feedable storage
Next,
area
30
because the plants
seconds.
would otherwise
Clutter
die
hits.
if it's the
I hate
outside
this
of the winter.
exercise.
So they built this wonderful building, which is one of the longest. Actually, I think this is the longest orangery with a 189-meter length. It's a fantastic
Start.
architectural building.
30 seconds.
The huge
Clutter
orangery
hits.
uses an
3,
ancient central
2,
heating design
1.
known as Hippocrates.
Start.
It's a system that dates back to 350 BC. It
Breathe
works by
regularly.
burning wood in a furnace under the floor, and then allowing the hot air to rise through hollow bricks
Half
in
the
the
time.
walls. This ensures the temperature inside
10
the
seconds
orangery
left.
is perfect for plants during the harsh Vienna winters.
First of all, of course, this wonderful heating
3,
system that I'm sitting on
2,
right now,
1.
which is
Take a
the
rest.
Hippocrates
Next,
heating system, which
14.
you know from the
Bench
Romans.
glute kick back
And
left.
this system is installed here back then and still operating and still working and still in use these days. As you can see, it's quite cold in here. So when it freezes
I
outside,
don't mean to do a
bench.
spider
all the
death
wood
girl
that
after I
they
do that
collected
shit
are
every time. But
still up to this day. And
yeah,
the
that shit
heating
really
system
gets my
to
stomach
heat
right
up the
here.
whole room.
And breathing through that is always interesting.
1. Start. 14. Bench glute kick back left.
Little humidity, and it's just nice.
The Orangery now hosts daily classical concerts, where the Schönbrunn Palace Orchestra perform the music of one of Austria's most famous sons, composer Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. The child protege first performed here in 1762 and will always be linked with the palace.
Mozart's father, Leopold Mozart, was very conscious of his son. He was very knowledgeable of music at the young age of 5 or 6 years. And
Take a
Leopold
rest.
then
Next,
took
14.
his son
Bench
to
glute kick back
different
right.
cities in Europe and introduced his son to members of the royal families. And one of those families was the imperial family in Vienna, Maria Theresia and her husband Francis Stephen of Lorraine. And the concert took place in the so-called Mirror Room in Schönbrunn in 1762.
He was playing the harpsichord for the Empress, and his father Leopold
Bench glute
presented
kick
him as
back
the
right.
wunderkind.
Young Mozart was a hit with the imperial family.
They took the place by storm. Maria Theresa clapped and clapped, and she picked him up and put him on her knee, whereupon he reached up, put his arms round her neck, and gave her a big kiss.
This is the story. We don't really know if it's true, but it's a cute little story, and I think we should keep this kind of story, because I'm sure that a 5-year-old kid would do something like that.
Take a rest. Next, 12. Sumo squat.
Stories of Mozart's first performance at the palace have become folklore.
Mozart is said
Start.
to have tripped
12.
over
Sumo
as he
squat.
went into the room, and he fell to the floor. And the imperial family was sitting on the other side of the room, watching, waiting for the
Inhale when you
musicians
go
to
down,
start.
and exhale when you go
And
up.
little Marie Antoinette, she was only about 2 years older than Mozart, she ran over and then picked him up, which is something, that's a no-go. That's something that members of the imperial family would never do, should never do. But that
Take a
young,
rest.
say,
Next,
8-year-old
hip
Marie
bridge and leg lift
Antoinette
left.
helped Mozart.
If you made it this far, babies, we is it down to the last 3 exercises of the routine. Give kudos to yourself, a round of applause and a pat on your back. You made it this far. We gonna keep going and knock this exercise routine out, babies. Let's get it.
What must they have thought of each other? And
Start.
obviously,
10
he would just
Hip
be
bridge and leg
facing the
lift
crowd
left.
to him. But two of them to go on to have these great, incredible lives. Arguably, we might say, two of the most famous people of 18th century Europe were there together in the same room, listening to Mozart play and be such a musical genius.
240 years after Mozart first played at the Palace, another famous
Take a
face
rest.
performed in the
Next.
Orange Room.
10. Hip
In
bridge and start.
2001,
10.
former US
Hip bridge and
President
leg
Bill
lift
Clinton
right.
was attending a gala event at Schönbrunn.
So it was a dinner, and after the dinner, there was a jazz band playing. One guy from the American company came to me and said, "Can Mr. President play?" And I personally picked the saxophone and put it in a corner. It was ready. And then I went to
Take
him
a
and said,
rest.
"Mr. President, would you
Next.
like to play today?"
30
And he looked
seconds.
at me and couldn't believe it. I
Kneeling
said, "Well,
lunge
do you have a
stretch
saxophone?"
left.
He said, "Sure."
But was the 42nd President of the United States in the same musical league as Mozart?
He was fantastic. He did a really, really good job. He played for like 45 minutes. So for us, it was a big thing because we made pictures and it was in the newspaper
Start.
everywhere.
30 seconds. Kneeling lunge stretch left. 3,
Hosting political dignitaries at Schönbrunn
1.
was also essential
Start.
for the Habsburgs in the 18th century.
This is the way this lunge
During
is
Maria
supposed to
Theresa's
look.
reign, Austria's
Please
allegiance
make
with
sure your
France
front
held
knee
great
won't go over your
importance.
toes.
The two countries allied during the 7 Years' War.
I normally just lean forward and do the runner's lunge.
1756 and
But today I just
1763.
felt like sitting up.
10
Victory
seconds
for
left.
Austria over Prussia at the Battle of Kolin in 1757 led to the building of one of
3,
Schönbrunn's most
2,
beautiful structures,
1. Take
the
a rest.
Gloriette.
Last exercise.
The impressive
30
monument
seconds.
was designed by
Kneeling
local
lunge
architect
stretch right.
Johann
3,
Ferdinand Hetzendorf
2,
von Hohenberg
1.
in
Start.
1772.
30 seconds.
Stood atop a
Kneeling lunge
16
stretch
meter high
right.
hill, the imposing Gloriette took 3 years to build and is considered the first classical style building in
Please
Austria.
keep your upper body straight when
We're at
pushing
the
your
top
hips
of the hill,
forward.
so this used to be a part of the
It kind of helps me if I like bounce a little bit, because it pushes on all of this right here, and it opens it up.
Seconds left.
1775.
Also a good way to release anything that's built up in your hips too.
3,
So a
2,
type of an architect.
1. Well done.
Half of the
Congratulations.
Gloriette was destroyed by the Allied forces during the Second World War.
So, give yourself a round of applause, a pat on the back. Kudos, you made it this far. You made it to the end of the Glutes Workout video. This routine is 32 exercises and wrapped up in one routine. Normally it's set for about 26 minutes, but we wrap it up in under 16, really. Or just at about 16, minus me running my mouth in the beginning of it and all the little pauses that I be taking in between. Alright? But thank you for tuning in. Thank you for working out. Give yourself a pat on the back. Next video that you're going to catch is going to be the abs workout video for the day. Alright? We're going to get over into that, and I'll catch y'all on the flip side.